Are you sick of always spawning in and not getting the weapons you want? Having to hold Q, going into the weapons tab, and then having to manually spawn in the weapon. It sucks. Everyone hates it. But we all have to do it if we want to use the weapons that we've downloaded. That is, of course, until today, because this is going to be the one, the only, the quick loadout mod. So what is the quick loadout mod? Well, to put it simply, it's a quick loadout. I have no clue where I was going with that, but it's a really cool mod that lets you create a loadout based on any weapon you desire. So if you want to spawn in with some Arcanine weapons, you totally do have that choice. Now, how do you even bring that up? Well, by default, it's set to N, but you can of course change the bind in the options menu, which we will get to very soon. So right off the bat, we have, well, nothing, because obviously our loadout hasn't been made yet. To make one, simply add weapon, then choose any of the weapon categories. We're going to go ahead and go with gunsmith arms, and then we're going to choose the type of weapon we want. So we're going to go with rifles. Obviously, you guys know me, I'm a G3 fanboy, so we're going to go with that. And now we have that on there. We can also add another, so maybe let's say a drink, which by the way, stay tuned for that video. We're going to go ahead and add the blue drink, and then we're going to go back, and you know what? I'm a big Half-Life dude. I love the first game, and I love the MP5 in that game. So I'm going to go ahead and add that, and you can keep doing this. And obviously, whatever weapon packs you do have downloaded is going to be right here. I like how it's nice and detailed, and it'll even show you a preview of what the weapon looks like. So let's say we go into equipment. Like, if you don't know what a thumper is, well, now you know it's a grenade launcher. And we can go into something like shotguns here, and we can go with like a Remington. Alright, so we have a nice amount of weapons. Then we go ahead and close it. Now, obviously, we are going to have to respawn. And now every single time we spawn in, we're going to have the weapons that we put in. Except, of course, in addition to all the other Half-Life 2 weapons. And that's not really what we want, so how do we fix this? And this is when we start going into the options here. So first things first, going into here, we can choose to have this enabled on or off. In fact, this is exactly what we want. So if we go ahead and turn this off and then close, now when we die, alright, so I changed my mind. This is actually if you want to disable this loadout. So we do want it to be enabled. While I'm here, you can go ahead and show the categories or turn it off. And you can even change the font. So if you want a different font for this mod for some reason, you can do that. I would use my font, but something tells me it's probably not going to work. But this is also pretty cool. You can even change the color of the overview. So we're going to go with like a nice kind of light blue. And then you can even choose the button color. So we're going to go with, let's go with like a, there we go, like a nice cyan turquoise. Perfect. So now that that's done, we can go back to the good stuff. Now, like I mentioned, we are going to spawn with the weapons that we normally spawn with. And that's kind of lame if you want to, you know, make a more clean inventory. Go ahead and hold Q, go to options, and right in quick loadout, this is what we're looking for. So enabled means that you're going to have the default loadout of the game mode, which in Sandbox is all the Half-Life 2 weapons and then some. So we don't want that. We're going to go ahead and disable that. Now, when we respawn, we're going to have only the loadout weapons, which is perfect. Wait, did I spawn this in? Alright, I have no clue why we have a random stun stick. I guess because they have to give you something. Or we probably picked it up somewhere. Alright, and then next up we have the spawn grace time. So this is the amount of time you have to change your loadout after spawning, which is a handy feature. And then this is also pretty cool. You can adjust the maximum weapon slots. So if you want to have more weapons in your repertoire, obviously the maximum is 10 usually, well, you can go ahead and adjust that and have even more weapons at spawn. But I can see why they did put a limit because, well, let's be honest, who wants to have a crap ton of weapons? And then obviously we have the option for shooting cancels grace, which means when you shoot, you no longer can change your loadout, which is probably a balancing thing. And finally, we have a loadout window bind, which is the bind you have that you can set it to. So now that we have that all out of the way, we have our beautiful, handcrafted, perfectly designed loadout that I've made. Let's go ahead and test it on a really cool map. So this map we're on is called Morgun. It comes with a few maps, and the creator recommended this to test out your weapons. And I can see why. It gives you a bunch of combines spawned in, so you can truly test out the potential. Alright, we are so dying. I'm gonna step back and take a drink. Ah, nothing like 15 health. Alright, now we're back in the game, but not for long because, wow, that's a lot of combine. Alright, so if you guys could change anything in that loadout, what would you have done? obviously we need something that hits a good area of effect. And one thing I can think of is a grenade. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into here and try to find a grenade. You know what? That thumper's looking mighty good right now. Alright, let's go ahead and kill ourselves. Typical NecrosVideos moment. And let's pull out the thumper. And, well, here goes nothing. I am already pretty impressed. Let's see if we can get an even better shot here. Okay. It looks like we're down to just a few combine. We're gonna go ahead and just... Wait, do we gotta reload this every time? Alright, one of them got away. Aha! But yeah, this is just a really cool map that is really good to test out these loadouts. You know, sometimes when you make a loadout, it seems good on paper, but then in practice, it's not as good as you probably hoped it'd be. But I gotta say, so far, this is looking like a pretty decent loadout. I do like the inclusion of that drink there. You know, you always need some kind of healing item. And we are definitely going to choke this down. Alright, moving on. We now have a bunch of turrets, so I am going to pull out the thumper once again. This would be a good time to demonstrate the tossback grenade mod, which we did take a look at a few videos back. If you guys want to check that out, I will put it in the top right corner. I think that got rid of the turret. Alright, I'm going to shoot one more thumper down range. Oh my god, that is so epic. The red mist and everything. Now, we are pretty close to death, so we're going to have to really play this safe. But I am digging the thumper right now. Alright, we got the MP5. We don't have a lot of ammo, though. That is probably going to be the biggest thing. Some of these weapons, they don't give you a bunch of ammo, but of course you could just do that. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot to this mod, and you know what? That's a good thing. It means it's not complicated, the settings are very easy to understand, and it just works. Like, if we quit this game and load it back in, I mean, we should still have our loadout, which is probably what I'm going to test next. But I'm having too much fun with the Arc 9 weapons. If you guys want a more in-depth look on what this base provides, I'll put a video to the Arc 9 weapons in the top right corner. Alright, that's enough shilling out my videos. Let's see if we can actually get to the end of this. Like I said, there is a few of these, but obviously I'm not going to do all of them in today's video. But I do recommend this map pack. It is pretty sick. Oh my god, there are so many combine! Alright, so we just loaded in. As you guys can see, the node graph is even rebuilding. We're also on the second part of the map, so this is part 2 of 3. And, well, if you couldn't tell, it is true. We do spawn with all of our weapons in our loadout automatically. So, this to me is a game changer. Like, I thought, okay, yeah, setting a loadout's cool, but then you gotta open up the menu and you gotta set it all up every time. But no, it does remember your weapons, so you never have to spawn with the Half-Life 2 weapons ever again if you don't want to. I just think that is really cool. In fact, you could even replace the weapons with similar Arc 9 weapons instead, or any other weapon base you want. Hell, if you want to spawn with an admin gun every time, you totally can. So this is such a neat little mod, and I absolutely love this. So guys, let me know what you think down below. Definitely check it out. Links will be in the description as always. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really does make my day better, and I have been struggling. I almost want to make a vlog video, but it kind of feels weird only doing sad videos on that channel. But if you want to check that channel out, I'll put it down below along with everything else. Guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, farewell.